Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Premodern at the request of Patreon subscriber Girian. This is Hermit Full English Breakfast. This is a crazy deck that features two different combos, both of which go through the card Valrash Shapeshifter. One blue-blue, Phyrexian Shapeshifter. As long as the top card in your graveyard is a creature card, this creature has the full text of that card and has 2 discard a card. And at its base, it has 2 discard a card. And then what we do with the Valrash Shapeshifter is one of two things. We either turn it into Phyrexian Devourer, pile it up with +1 counters, and then turn it into Triskelion and fling those counters at the opponent. That line is generally set up with Survival of the Fittest, because that one lets you play the Shapeshifter, discard Devourer to search for Triskelion, then you get to pump it up, and then you discard the Triskelion to Survival, and then you throw all the counters. The other way we do that is with the card Hermit Druid. This card, famously broken, 2 mana 1/1. For green tap, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a basic land. Put that card into your hand and the other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. Astute observers will realize we have no basic lands, and Hermit Druid is just put your deck into your graveyard. Per the Magic rules, if more than one card goes to your graveyard at a time, you decide what order they go there in. And from there, there's a variety of stacks that we can make where Valrash Shapeshifter is whatever the top card is, which ultimately, and there's different reasons to make the stacks differently, but simply put, for the sake of this deck tech, you want Psychotog on top of the deck, or on top of the graveyard. And then you exile 2 cards from your graveyard to make Psychotog bigger. And finally, when the Valrash Shapeshifter / Psychotog is large enough, you use Psychotog to exile itself, revealing a Chroma Angel of Wrath was underneath the Psychotog all along. And now Valrash Shapeshifter is a 6/6 flying first strike vigilance trample haste protection from red and black that also has all the buffs that Psychotog gave it before it turned into a Chroma, because layers. And then there's a bunch of other shit in this deck that helps set this up or protect it in a variety of ways. The Hermit Druid lines usually let you Cabal Therapy as well to check. There's 1 Palinchron in the deck, because if you have Palinchron on top of your graveyard, when Valrash Shapeshifter enters the battlefield, it enters as Palinchron and untaps up to 7 lands. That's a way to cheat mana in tight situations. Same with Karmic Guide. If Shapeshifter enters as Karmic Guide, you get a trigger that could return the Karmic Guide itself, which then returns something else, and now you have plenty of fodder for Cabal Therapy. Battlefield Scrounger is a way to bridge the Hermit Druid kill into the Survival of the Fittest kill by tucking enough power and toughness, or enough mana value back into your deck to do Devourer, because Hermit empties your deck, and then you can't Devour anymore. Battlefield Scrounger can do that. There's also ways to play around Graveyard Hate with Battlefield Scrounger. It's crazy. I will jump off those bridges as I come to them, but the basic idea is Valrash Shapeshifter, make it big somehow and kill your opponent somehow, either through combat or through flings. And this is Hermit Full English Breakfast. I will do my best here. Let's do it. The NYSE Open is returning on June 6, 2026 to Long Island, New York. This proxy-friendly vintage tournament has the guaranteed prize pool of 8 pieces of Power 9 to be drafted by the top 8 based on final standings. Any additional profits made from the event will be added to the prize pool as on-site vendor credit. This tournament has been great the last 2 years. How often do you get to act sad about winning just a time walk? You know I'll be there. See you at the NYSE Open on June 6 on Long Island, New York. Use my link in the video description or find the New York Stacks Exchange on melee.gg. I'm on the draw in round 1 versus Magic Online user Fishduggery, who happens to be the source of the list I'm playing today and has been winning a lot with Hermit Full English Breakfast lately. My hand has a ton of mana but isn't going anywhere. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this one has Hermit. I don't have a route to Shapeshifter, but I think I have to run with it. Grosseland Reclamation's interesting because if this is the mirror match, which I am wholly unsuited for, this also functions as Graveyard Hate. Well, that's the primary function, though. I think in all the history of Magic, it's mostly been used to enable combos. My opponent just told me there is a Premodern tournament happening in Vancouver, British Columbia on April 11th. Charity tournament for a City of Trader powder kegs to top 8. Details on the Premodern Mother server. Okay, let's play Magic now. We should recognize quickly if the opponent is on the deck we fear. Yeah, Llanowar Wastes. I mean, that's in other decks too. The jig is up. Okay, my Reclamation has been duressed. We got a well in the chat. Yep, caught with my pants down here. Okay. Cabal Therapy is a solid rip. I have to decide if I want to name Hermit Druid or Survival of the Fittest from my opponent. Survival is slower. I'm going to name Hermit because I'm just on the draw. Okay, Hermit Druid. We got one team. Has the reanimate spell though. All right, we were covered in every direction. Yeah, it has the shapeshifter already. Has animate dead to get Hermit. Though probably wanted that animate dead. Oh god damn it. All right. We did just see that card. Probably actually wanted that animate dead to pick up shapeshifter. So we're in full garbage town. Are we having fun yet? Animate dead, target my Hermit Druid. I can't win by activating Hermit here is the problem. I probably... What do I even do? I am completely stun locked here. I could... Nope. Yeah, I could just hold up Corrosion Reclamation for a turn. That gives my opponent the window to cast their shapeshifter. Are we on Battlefield Scrounger Beatdown? Is that the strat? That's a 5-drop that attacks for 6 sometimes. Okay, I don't have a shapeshifter, is the problem, or a backup reanimate spell. I think I'm just going to pass. The Reclamation gives me some insulation versus my opponent's animate dead. All right. Target player shuffles 2 cards from their graveyard into their library. I target me. What? What just happened? No! Did I misclick? Well, okay. I guess I misclicked playing Corrosion Reclamation somehow. It has to... I think what I did wrong is it has to target me and also the cards. All right, well, that sucks every ass. I assume we're dead. Opponent did miss a land drop, but we know the shapeshifter. There is a shapeshifter in hand. Yeah, what I'm hoping for is opponent isn't actually in the space to do this yet, and I can steal it somehow. A Bird of Paradise. I think I want to animate my opponent's Hermit now as well. Just so if I do top deck a reanimate spell or a shapeshifter, I can win. Yeah, I think I should be trying to give myself the top deck outs, which is what my opponent was doing by taking my Hermit, because clearly not ready to go off, but we could make that harder. I wonder if I'm supposed to be Cabal Therapying here, because I know there's a shapeshifter over there, but if opponent activates Hermit, then it won't have 3 mana to play shapeshifter, and it might be more valuable in the graveyard. Okay. Opponent knows way more than I do, because... Oh, right. The Corrosion Reclamation is a card in your deck. Yay, okay. This is what's going on. Opponent's going to end step this and then upkeep Corrosion Reclamation, probably. Unless there is just some instant speed interaction here that I just don't understand. Which is entirely possible. There's the Reclamation, and you do have to click card by card on Magic Online to put them into the graveyard. Because that's how the combo works. It's not as bad as it looks. This is an opportunity to study the Master, though, and see how my opponent stacks their graveyard, because this is something I'm going to have to do throughout this league, I hope. Okay, this actually is deterministic. They're going to use Corrosion Reclamation to put 2 Unearths into the deck. Oh, but that does cost you a turn, right? Yes. Okay. I think I have a turn here, unless opponent sandbagged the land for some reason. Because they have 0 cards in deck and 2 mana, which is what Reclamation costs to use. Okay, yeah, there it is. Shuffles 2 cards. Okay, targeting Yavimaya Coast and Unearth. Alright. So I guess, if opponent already had a reanimation spell, they would have just targeted 2 lands. They actually need both of those things, and they can only draw one of them right now. Alright, I have right now to rip A reanimate spell or a shapeshifter to win? Oh my god. Holy guacamole. Alright, I'm going to float a black. And I'm going to Cabal Therapy my opponent. I can name the Unearth. Okay, hand is a bunch of shapeshifters. This is nothing I care about. And I do actually have the dub here. If I know how to do it. Okay. Offering me an opportunity to fuck up, which I fully respect. I did a few practice games in the solo queue room. And one of the scariest things, which you'll see in a second here, is that the Magic Online shifts the columns when a certain number, like I just went from 4 columns to 3. It is organized in a way that is coherent, but the columns do shift, and misclicking something to the wrong spot being so devastating, actually terrifying. My system here is get rid of the non-creatures first because they don't matter. And then like the mana creatures and additional hermits don't matter. What I want to do here is... Oh shit, I just clicked the Acroma. No, god damn it, Magic Online. Fuck, I hate this. Oh my god. Okay, misclicking the Acroma doesn't actually kill me because Psychotog can do that anyway, but I'm gonna slow all the way down on this shit. Okay, Alankron, Shapeshifter, Psychotog, Karmic Guide. Okay, Jesus Christ. All right, Pain. Okay, bring back Shapeshifter, which brings back Karmic Guide, which brings back Psychotog, which I can then use to Cabal Therapy my opponent. And I already know their hand. I'll take the... It doesn't matter. All right. I'm going to name Abandon Hope. And then, all right. Now Psychotog, exile cards from my graveyard until Acroma is on the top. Holy moly. This is stressful shit. Yeah, now it's just about eating the cards until Acroma is on top. I've been corrected that the metagame has shifted and it's not Abandon Hope that you name with Cabal Therapy anymore. It's acceptable losses. Fair enough. I'm a big take out the trash fan, but that's not legal in the format, and Magic Online won't show you options that aren't legal in the format. Cowards. Ooh, all right. I almost messed up. I was about to say, like, might as well put Scrounger in the graveyard too, but if I discard it, it becomes the top card, and that is one of the things you have to track. Yeah, Chroma is a base 6/6, so at some point, I'm already lethal here. I'm just having fun. All right, I do have to actually eat the top cards now, in the correct order. I have to eat them in a way that Psychotog remains the top card until Acroma is able to be directly under it. They don't make them like this anymore, and that's for the best. Okay. Please. All right. I'm going to eat these 2 Unearths. All right. I want to make really freaking sure I don't misclick here. All right, here we go. And now I have a 29 power Hasty Flyer. Oh my god, that's stressful. All right, 2 misclicks, unpunished. And now sideboarding. What the hell do I even do? Okay. Duress could strip reanimate spells and survivals. That sounds really good. I don't have Graveyard Hate. I probably am not trying to use Pyroclasm or get 2 Stinger to kill my opponent's Hermit Druids. That doesn't seem like the way. The problem is every part of this looks really important. So, and I might not need Palinchron in the mirror, though if it does, I can see hands being about speed. Like I could conceive that this mirror match does become just about speed at some point, like sticking survival and the Palinchron does cut some turns off. But if we're both going to be duressing and Cabal Therapying each other, that might be less important. Maybe a Wall of Roots can go. All right. I'm basically making decisions at random here, but I'm trying. I have this Uktabi Orangutan and Monk Realist. I just don't think that if we both have survival, I'm going to spend any amount of time survivaling for an answer to their survival when I could just be survivaling for a way to win the game. Okay. I am discard proof. because I have both engines in hand. What the fuck is this? Ew. Ew. Oh no. All right. I hate that Birds of Paradise, but we are in business here. I also have a Birds of Paradise. Do I want to just stick survival right now? Or do I want to develop bird? I don't want to give my opponent that much time to figure it out, but I also don't want them to know that survival's coming. All right, I'll play survival. There's just so much discard in these decks that I want to stick that, even though I would really much rather develop bird. And that's where being on the play is really nice. Wow, okay. So I may have been just completely wrong about sideboard theory here. My opponent does have at least one removal spell in their deck. And do you just become the rock after board? Is that what we're doing around here? All right, you've got a survival. I can't do shit about it. Karmic Guide, discarded, tutored up Squee. Looks like slow gaming is kind of the vibe here. I could go Duress into Hermit. What am I even duressing? Do I just lose right now? Oh, opponent can get basically everything here. The Crozen Reclamation might be my only chance to mess with them, but even that's not actually useful interaction a lot of the time. All right, I'll just duress and hope it does anything. If there's an important reanimate spell in here. All right, 2 lands and Squee. Bad news, team. Okay, Squee survivaling for Hermit. All right, I think I'm gonna Reclamation, Squee, and Ray of Revelation right now. That cuts off the survival engine, or at least they'd have to discard Hermit to be part of it, or to get back into it, or top deck a creature. Okay, dumping Hermit. Did I walk into a different loop? Yeah, just rebuilding the Squee loop. Spending your Hermit to do it, though. Squee, getting Palancron. All right, so another card I boarded out. A card I didn't board in and a card I boarded out, both featured prominently in this game from my opponent who knows more than me about the matchup. Okay, Hermit is here. I also have a Hermit. And I have a face-up Reclamation, which I'm not sure if it helps when survival is also involved. Opponent has both engines here. I think I'm cooked no matter what. Okay, Squee, which is on top of the graveyard, gets Gitu Slinger. Okay, so all the things I said about whether I think this is about speed or interaction, stone wrong. Completely incorrect. Good to know. But I've learned something. Duress. Treva's Ruins is still in the hand and 1 unknown. I feel like both if I do and if I don't use this Reclamation, I lose. I've had 2 engines collapse as my opponent develops both engines. I'm somehow at Cast Triskelion as my plan A at this point. I have so little going on. Opponent could pay for Gitu Slinger and just have a 2/2, applying pressure, though, with both engines running. I think you could do better. A survival. Surviving for Psychotog. Togging for Shapeshifter. Unearth targeting Psychotog. Once this is in play, I get Cabal Therapied by it. That's what's going on here. And I lose anyway. Yeah, Crozen Reclamation is my only interaction. If this comes into play, opponent activates Hermit, Cabal Therapies me. Though, in that world, I do actually have... I can Reclamation in response and maybe mess up the Hermit stack somehow. Or I'm never going to get priority for this, right? No, okay, so if opponent plays Shapeshifter first, then activates Hermit. Right, there is no Cabal Therapy yet. The Hermit is part of the getting Psychotog back into the graveyard. Okay, here we go. Using Psychotog to make Gitu Slinger the top card of the graveyard. So Shapeshifter will kill my bird on entry. I mean, I'm diamond hands on this Crozen Reclamation. I'm going to lose to the creatures that are just in play here, but I'm dead instantaneously if I hesitate at all. Opponent has an Echo to pay for off their Gitu Slinger. Slash. Oh, the hand is still Treva's Ruins. I don't need to duress. Okay. Pass the turn. Opponent could exile Slinger, and then you don't have to pay Echo. Okay, here we go. We're getting Hermited, finally. I wish I understood this better so I would know whether to concede or not. And I think I can probably pretty safely concede, but I do want to at least see how my opponent makes the pile here. And the problem is that survival of the fittest means that if I put a creature back into their deck, they can just have it. And my opponent also has access to Croson Reclamation. They're not going to lose to themselves here. And I can't wait for them to Croson Rec first, because by then the Angel can't be Psychotog and... Oh, I'm just dead. Okay, cool. Got it. All right. Understood. I'm good. Yeah, the Scrounger lines that I don't know. My opponent certainly does. Okay. Taking some hints from watching what my opponent was into. Yeah, those Duresses I boarded in, missed. One was in my hand at the end of the game, and the other hit nothing when I cast it. That's a clean switcheroo. I could have reverse engineered the whole thing. When the deck was flipped, I could have taken a screenshot and figured out exactly what my opponent's sideboard plan was. I am not dialed in at the level I need to be right now. Okay, I'm going to keep. And I think I'm going to Cabal Therapy. Because getting Cabal Therapied for both my survivals is completely untenable. Cabal Therapy. We got 2 of them. Ding, 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 ding. Sniper mode. You wanted to take 2 survivals, but I take 2 instead. We got that no-scope headshot. Llanowar Waste. All right. The problem here is now my opponent has a Naturalize and also a survival. I have 2 survivals, though. If I play my survival, they naturalize it. No, I'm looking at Unearth like it's a second copy of Cabal Therapy, but it's just not. It's a different card. What am I doing? I'm like, do I take this Naturalize or do I play it survival? Turns out I didn't have a choice. Right, naturalize. And it would be great to draw a creature so I could survive at least a little bit. Oh! Not just a creature, but that creature. Okay. My opponent needs to disrupt the survival, or I think they're dead. Okay, there's your survival. And I just have to get the chain right here. Okay. Survive for Shapeshifter. Yeah, okay. I'm clean. Get Squee back. So now I survive for Devourer, then survive for Trike, and unearth the Shapeshifter. Get Devourer, discard that, get Triskelion, unearth my Shapeshifter, and I need my opponent not to have Graveyard Hate right now. Oh no, I've done it poorly! Okay, I needed to unearth before doing the second thing. Alright, I fucked it. Alright, now I might lose instead of win. Okay, yeah, okay, so I just needed to unearth. No, that wasn't possible, was it? How do I do this differently? I unearth first and then I devour. That was just a sequencing error because I'm a noob. All right, how do I recover? I can just Cabal Therapy, delete my Shapeshifter, which sucks ass, but I could try to recover next turn. And what the fences I'm trying to swing for here are just take my opponent off of, or I could just pass. All right, I am going to pass the turn and simply hope that my opponent doesn't kill me right now. All right, that was full noob shit, which is fine. I accept that. Acceptable losses, as the metagame dictates. Opponent had a Palancron over there. Got the Devourer. You're going to show me how it's done. Okay, just had a Shapeshifter in hand. That's fine. All right. Do we think they're going to mess up? Okay, so the first time ever playing this deck for me, being in the mirror match against like the premier mirror match pilot, is a tough beat, but came down to a misclick, just something that, or it wasn't a misclick, it was a missequence. It's not like I knew what to do and Magic Online confused me. I actually fucked up the sequence meaningfully. And that's a good learning. But, you know, with 2 more games under my belt, I would have won this match. Moral victory, on to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in round 2. Double survival with Shapeshifter in hand. Let's go. Putrid Imp. All right. Somebody might be going as fast as I am here. Probably faster. Ooh, okay. Blue and green are the colors I need to play this game anyway, so I'll prioritize Yavimaya Coast over City of Brass. That might save a damage or 2. Okay, am I dead? Am I just getting clapped by a Chroma into my triple pain land draw? Putrid Imp. I will not be blocking. Good attack. Tight plays. Careful study. Okay, that means they didn't have a monster already, because Putrid Imp could have just dumped it. They're actually looking for the goods. Weird to attack first, because a Chroma is one of the primary reanimate homies in this format, so... Oh no, don't name Survival. Cabal Therapy is so fucking scary. God dang, these people are good. Named Survival. God, that's brutal. Yeah, normally having 2 copies of a card in your hand, just by all modern fundamental Magic design, is like, okay, well, I'm insulated from discard, but Cabal Therapy specifically is such a beating. Yuck. I mean, the Putrid Imp would have been worth 2 survivals anyway, but also, opponent nailed it on that shit. All right, going after the Shapeshifter too, just deleting all their resources to give me nothing. Shapeshifter, depending on how this game rolls out, Shapeshifter might be better in my graveyard. We'll see. And they could also reanimate my Shapeshifter and then I don't have access to it anymore. And it's a Putrid Imp for them. Okay, it's not. It's a reanimate for them. Right. Oh, this has 2 discard a card. So this is kind of like still having Putrid Imp anyway, but also it doubles as reanimate, and also I don't have access to it anymore. This plays probably pretty good. This is probably actually my opponent using Shapeshifter as intended. Oh, look at me with my animate dead. I hope they do discard Necroma this turn. All right, Reflecting Pool and pass. All right, I guess Animate Dead doesn't help a Chroma because she has protection from black and the Animate Dead will fall off immediately. I'm disappointed in my opponent for not attacking with their 0-1. What am I going to do? Block with my 0-1? All right, what cards do I think could be in their hand? I don't know. It's like any good card I care about, they would have played by now. Putrid Imp, that's not it. Another Reflecting Pool. They've seen the City of Brass, so I'll continue to play out cards they have seen for now. And if they do come up with a monster, I hope it's one that I can animate dead for value. If they have Verdant Force or some shit, I'm winning that game. Not so much if it's a Chroma. Alright, Putrid Imp discarded Lotus Petal just to get Threshold. Just so you could attack for twice as much. That's fine. I'm also at the point of the game. I have 7 mana, and it's all colors. I could cast Palancron if I draw it. I could cast Karmic Guide if I draw it. That thing has protection from black. Like, there's just... all the dumbasses in my deck are now smartasses. It's frustrating to be on the wrong side of it, but it is pretty cool that the card Cabal Therapy can, for 1 mana, turn a game that would have been over on turn 3 into anything else. Oh, why did Shapeshifter... oh, it was a 0-0. Oops. Yeah, it turns into a copy of Phantom Nishobo, which is a 0-0 at base. And it doesn't get the counters. So, all right, my Shapeshifter's back, baby. And that is something I can animate dead. Give me that shit. Put it in my belly. And it does enter this time around. Hell yeah. Okay, the race is on. That rules. I'm glad I'm not the only one who can missequence my graveyard and confuse myself about what Valor Shapeshifter actually does. And with Threshold, Putrid Imp can't block, so I don't have to worry about it chipping away at my Nishoba. And they're done. Weird shit. Premodern's crazy. Okay. I want Duress. And there's not much else here I care about. They're going to have a big dumbass in play or they're not. And I'm going to combo them out or I'm not. Some concerns are if they get access to my Achroma or my Karmic Guide, that could start some chains for them. Yeah, having Animate Dead and Duress in my deck naturally against a Reanimate deck is pretty awesome, though. Do I cut these Elvish Spirit Guides? Is it just not about speed necessarily? Though getting under a discard spell could matter, but I'm on the draw, so I'm not under a discard spell anyway. Okay, Duress into Hermit. Trike is one that is a little bit scary if they're able to discard plus reanimate it. I don't think they'll hit with a blind Cabal Therapy. I'd be impressed if they name Survival game 1 and then just suddenly decide it's Hermit Druid in game 2. Dark Ritual. Oh, I might be dead already. Cabal Therapy targeting yourself. That's bad news. Who do you got for me? You've got Multani. Each equal number of cards total in all players' hands. All right, yeah, that guy hits pretty hard. But it's about to be a lot smaller. It's 9/9, and my opponent's hand is Reanimate plus Neshoba. All right, so my job is to get my hand empty. Duress you, take your Reanimate. I have to take one to do this, but it does make Multani 2 points smaller. Hand is Neshoba, pass the turn. I take 7, I play Hermit, and I need to draw a Reanimate spell of my own, or I take 8 because they get a draw step. Unfair. Ooh, that's pretty nice. That saves me some pain. And I have to draw a Reanimate spell or Shapeshifter to win on the spot. Though Multani doesn't trample, so I can actually just play out my second Hermit and chump for a turn. They played out their Swamp. All right, Multani is lethal anyway. That's fine. That makes sense. Oh no, what are we doing? Sickening Dreams. Wow, that's fucked up. All right, yeah, that kills my Hermit. Underground River. I guess I'll play another Hermit. We gotta stay chumping here. Unfortunately, I have so many lands in my hand that it's basically impossible to get my hand empty, even though Multani is getting smaller. Sickening Dreams off the tippity top. That'll show me. I do have a deck full of creatures, though. If I can get something going here, I can chump for a long time. And yeah, the next Hermit, we will continue to chump with the premier threat of my deck. If I can chump long enough to get this Triskelion into play, that's something. I tap in City of Brass again. Found something to do. Another Sickening Dreams? All right. You got me. All right, I get to go first this time, which is everything. Yeah, same deck. I'm not making any changes. They have multiple sweepers that double as discard enablers, though. Scary. It is a sorcery, though. I don't have to think about that mid-combo. Should I have Enlightened Tutor in here? It might just be redundant copies of Survival of the Fittest in this discard matchup. I don't know what else I'd cut, is the problem. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop. Okay, I'll keep this. Hand is soft to Cabal Therapy. It's very good against Careful Study. If they put any creature in their graveyard, it's mine. Like, they need a Dark Ritual start to have a creature out before I can steal it. Birds of Paradise. Please cast Careful Study and pass the turn. Got a Putrid Imp. That's not the Careful Study I was hoping for. This one they got a lot more control over. But that means I'm resolving Survival. Ooh, okay. I would rather have this Wall of Roots in my hand as something to survive away than I would extra mana. Because I could have played Wall, minus Wall, play Survival. But I think this is way better. And by way better, I mean going to instantly win the game if my opponent doesn't disrupt me. Future Nymph's in. Okay, passing the turn makes me a little nervous. I think I want to survive for Squee and just get a little value train going here. I know I could just send it. This is a black deck with 6 cards in hand. Ray of Revelation. All right, sure. Now I have this dumbass Squee in my hand. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Anything I did there would have met the same fate, except I could have tutored a better creature, I guess. Speaking of tutoring better creatures, how about that one? Okay, so I've once again presented the win They have to kill my Hermit Druid or discard the Reanimate from my hand right now. We know they're good at killing Hermit Druid, though. We've seen the Sickening Dreams. I guess my hope now is they discard something to Sickening Dreams that I can reanimate for value, and they can't. Attacking with this Imp that I'm not going to block. And I have Birds of Paradise. I could have just cast Squee last turn. That'll show you. Wall Therapy. They've seen Animate Dead. They've not seen Reanimate, though they have the Putrid Imp, so they could clear it here. Name Triskelion. Nope. Oh, they're probably trying to reanimate my Triskelion and see if they could skip having to wrath their own Putrid Imp. Not really sure here. And you do have to pick one player for Crozen Reclamation. If I do get to tap this Hermit Druid, I can't pick like one of my things in one of theirs. Okay, Putrid Imp discarding Multani. Reanimating Multani. Okay. It's a lot of damage. This card's way less scary on turn 3 than it is on turn 1 or turn 0. Alright, they could strip my Reanimate, but I still win turn after next with the Hermit. Okay. All of those things have happened. Gemstone Mine. 1, 2, 3, cast Squee. This makes Multani smaller, and it's a great chump block. My opponent would have to have multiple things here. Like, they'd have to be able to kill Hermit Druid on my turn, or right now on their turn, and then also stop me from flashing back Reclamation. I assume there is something I could do with Battlefield Scrounger here that I don't actually understand to make sure that I don't also lose to Graveyard Hate. Exhume and Ray of Revelation. Discarded. Okay. None of those matter. Block with Squay. Squiggity. Squiggity Squee. If they have Sickening Dreams here, that also kills Multani, and then they're Hellbent. I kind of hope they do with that. Animate Dead targeting Squee. Sure. He's all yours. Where I'm going, I don't need that. Okay, I think I just win here. Let me just double check Crozen Reclamation. It is an instant, just making super sure before I do something completely boneheaded. Okay. Hermit Druid. Let it rip. Okay. Gotta stack the stack correctly here. Okay, the unimportant cards are gone. I need... the Shapeshifters, it doesn't matter where they are. I'm not doing Devourer Trike stuff. I need Karmic Guide on top. Palancron's not part of this line. Okay. I believe this is what I need to be doing. And then Upkeep, Flashback, Reclamation, target 2 Unearths. I target myself and 2 copies of Unearth. Draw for turn. Might as well play City of Brass. And then Unearth, target Balrat Shapeshifter, who comes back as Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide gets back Psychotog. These steps are necessary to get Psychotog on top of the Unearth. Cabal Therapy, target you. Sacking Psychotog. I'll name Abandon Hope. There's no Surgical Extraction in this format. Okay, and now I'm just out here togging. All right, just chewing stuff up until we're ready for a Chroma. It's hard to mess it up from here. I'm going to make very careful that I don't. Also, opponent is at 9 from all the shit they've been doing, so I can just... I don't have to do tricks on it here. All right, I'll exile Unearth and Psychotog. Puts a Chroma on top. And then I'll attack for 15, which is enough. I can attack with Hermit too, because squeezes 0-1. Scoreboard. Okay, cool. Defeated Reanimator. My combo is a little bit more final than theirs is. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 3. I am going to keep this hand. I understand the risks. I have 21 more lands in my deck and double Birds of Paradise here. Plus combo ready to rip. This game is going to come down to, do I draw a land or do they kill my birds kind of things? And I understand that here, but I'm in. Opponent's on a mull to 5. Is that unlucky, or were they chasing some sort of nut draw? Oh, they got the Lauren Eclipse Draft Box Plains. What does that mean? Does that mean my bird is going to get Swords to Plowshared? Almost certainly. Though on a mull to 5, can they really afford to do that? Is interesting. Should they save that for a higher value target? I couldn't talk them into it. Hitting Wall of Roots, though, means that my next land is actually multiple mana. Oh, if they just go land standstill here, that's not going to be great for me. Okay, Forgotten Cave. A big turn to draw a land. Couldn't do it. And now my opponent will quickly see they're rewarded for their Swords to Plowshares. Okay, moment of truth. Am I cooked? Didn't kill this bird. Not yet, anyway, but now they've untapped and they're showing red mana. Is this like an Astral Slide deck? That's pretty cool, if true. The cycle lands? What are they doing in there? Okay. Another bird. It's not the land I was hoping for. Wrath of God ends my entire career. And the Seal of Cleansing is ahead of my survival, but I do have 2 of them. And I might not even need 2 turns to win. If survival sticks, they might die immediately. Astral Slide confirmed. Okay. Whenever a player cycles a card, I won't be doing that. I am going to duress them and see what they're working with. Just make sure Wrath of God is not in my near future. I cannot beat that. Hey, Wrath of God. Let's take that one away. There's a Decree of Justice over there. They could cycle it for 0. Seal of Cleansing stinks a little bit, but no, whatever. I got 2 survivals. Let's put them to work. You better use that shit or lose that shit. And if they don't seal now, I can survive twice instead of once. Like, they have to do it on my turn to stop a value train. Okay, didn't do it. All right, they did it now, which means I can... What am I actually doing here? Because I don't have a reanimate. Oh, I'm just getting Trike, right? Discard Devourer, get Trike. This takes a little extra setup, and I don't actually get to do the thing twice. Okay. All right, Survival's on top of that. Man, top card, not top creature card. Yeah, I should have gotten Squee and gotten something else. Taking our lumps live on camera. You'll love to see it. Okay. I drew Curse and Reclamation, which means my problems are solved. Okay, I'll play another Survival here. And then I can try to win next turn. Oh, wait, the Reclamation will end up on top of my graveyard. Oh no, what do I even do? Okay. They probably aren't going to slide here. Or, do you want my Bird of Paradise? You can have it. All right, cool. That is safe from Wrath of God until it'll come back in the next end step. Seal of Cleansing, another one. I hate that. Okay, well, that stinks. All right, now what do I do? I guess I just survive for a Hermit, and that's the play now. All right, sorry, Triskelion. All right, get a Hermit Druid, and new plan. Temple of the False God, which is not online. Okay, 1, 2. I'll develop a wall here. 1, 2. Hermit. I could have sacrificed my second Wall of Roots to Cabal Therapy, Wrath of God here. I feel like I probably should have checked their hand, because this last turn is the only one that matters anyway. They hit land number 5, which turns on Temple. Oromancer. Return target enchantment card. Yeah, I don't care about enchantments anymore. Seal of Cleansing ain't shit. Neither Psychotog nor Chroma are artifacts or enchantments. We're fine. That one was a little stressful. This is a stressful deck to play if you're a clown like me. Right, so this is just the basic Hermit line. I'm holding the Shapeshifter already, and I can hard cast it, activate Hermit, and begin the clicking exercise. Okay, top card of my graveyard is Karmic Guide, which I don't think was necessary in this sequence, but I'm doing it anyway. Shapeshifter enters as Guide. Guide gets back Guide. Opponent said, guess I'm dead here. Sorry, new to the format. Yeah, I mean, it is strange. And Tog's already on top, so I could get Palinchron here if I want to have some fun. It doesn't actually matter though. Yeah, that would only matter if... Where's my Triskelion? It's at the bottom. I'll take that one. I actually just realized I fucking blew it. By reanimating this Triskelion, opponent can now kill it with Seal of Cleansing and turn Psychotog Acroma into Triskelion. Luckily, they didn't notice that, but I was just like, haha, what can I do for fun here? And I actually damn near threw it. Okay, Ray of Revelation, Monk, Realist. These are cards that destroy Slide. Duress affects the card Wrath of God, which sometimes I care about, sometimes I don't. A game like last one, I cared a lot. Yeah, Seal of Cleansing doesn't actually stop any of the full English breakfast combo, because there is one spot. If I play Shapeshifter, activate Survival, and currently Devourer is in the graveyard, but Triskelion's not in my hand yet, that is a spot where Seal of Cleansing can break it up. Okay, that does matter. Oi, oi, oi. Doing my best to throw it in every direction. Learn from my mistakes, people. I think I'm doing okay, though. Considering how many mistakes I'm making, how hard this deck is, still being 1-1 and up a game. Not bad. I think I'm going to shave a couple Wall of Roots versus the Wrath of God deck. I still have the birds. I have tons of mana and a Shapeshifter, but no engines. I'm going to mulligan this. No mana, all the engines. Going to mulligan this. All right, it's my turn to go to 5. I'm not playing 2 therapies here, and I think I'm going to get rid of Ray of Revelation and just try to go bonkers with therapy. Okay, Gemstone Mine. I'm going to play Birds of Paradise first, because if they plow this, I don't care. And if they don't plow it, then I have a double therapy set up Druid. Okay, yeah, there's the plow. That's fine. Gotta hope they don't have 2 of those. Reflecting Pool. Do I want to spend a turn checking their hand with therapy? They've already cast 1 plow. All right, I am going to therapy. And I'm going to name Swords to Plowshares again. Cycling Eternal Dragon in response. I wasn't going to name that, but might as well cycle it off. I could name Astral Slide to try to collapse their engine, but I'm more worried about my engine, because mine kills them and there's just draws cards slowly. Okay, 2 seals, Lightning Rift. Dang, that one's really good. I forgot about that one. That is the other card that this deck plays. It's the reason they're red. This one's a huge problem. I hope they don't develop Rift this turn. If they don't develop Rift, then it would be really hard for them to get 2 mana to play Rift, mana to cycle something, and mana to deal 2, all in 1 turn. All right, they were wise to my shit. Good call. Their hand currently doesn't kill Druid, but that could... They just have to draw a mana, and that changes. I'm going to send it here. This, I think, is my best chance. It's not going to get better if I give them more draws. All right, yeah, they needed to go +1 mana somehow, which is either a cheap cycler or just hit a land drop. And they did, in fact, find the cheap cycler. The good news is that cost them a land drop. Oh, all right. I think I'm kind of more interested in just Battlefield Scrounger Beatdown here than I am in trying to reanimate this Hermit Druid for another send. I could reanimate their Eternal Dragon, but if they find a slide and blink it out and then get it back, that sucks really bad. Seal of Cleansing. City of Brass. All right, are we just scrounging here? I have to take 1 damage and Gemstone Mine goes down to 1. Yeah, this is a 5 mana 3/3. It is not close to having any other abilities. You need Threshold to do the Tuck 3 thing. Miles away. Second Rift. Another Mine. All right. The time is now. Am I reanimating this Eternal Dragon? I think I am. All right. It's a 5/5. That hits pretty hard. It changes the clock dramatically here. It takes more than 2 rifts to kill it. I'm all in, baby. Oh, Swords to Plowshares. All right. So I just get my 7 life back. And that protects my Scrounger, I guess. Not the thrilling conclusion I was hoping for. Drawing a lot of lands now. I think I'm going to hold this land back. Leave some mystery in the world. Oh no. All right. They actually did have a 2 mana cycler. And now I am losing control here. Lightning Rift. Aiming that off the Cabal Therapy would have been the 1000 IQ play here. And I don't have Threshold. I could get Gemstone Mine into my graveyard, but that's only 4, and I would need 7 to save my creature there. All right, Slide is in. The pieces are all here. Shapeshifter can become Scrounger. Yeah, I'll play out mine now. Shapeshifter might be exciting-ish. I don't know. If I draw Ray of Revelation, that picks off both Rifts, and then we play on. Karmic Guide, what's up? That's a Battlefield Scrounger. All right, we're just kicking it old school here. We know my opponent has at least 1 cycle. Okay, Karmic Guide, get back in there. Bring Scrounger back with you. As much as I'd love the Druid, it's just face up dead. Not helpful. Okay, no cycle in the end step. They're trying to hit that land to actually do something. Okay, Wrath of God. How I stack my creatures matters here. So Scrounger into the graveyard first with Karmic Guide under it. And then I can get all of these back right now. Oh. Hold the phone. Now what do? I think I sandbag the survival because they could blow it up in response to the first activation. That's not even good. Okay. Blue, colorless, blue. Shapeshifter comes back as Karmic Guide, which gets back Karmic Guide, which gets back Scrounger. Or would I rather have Druid? I could force the action on this Lightning Rift. Oh, that's sick, actually. Because I can force the action on this Lightning Rift. I can also knock the Decree of Justice out of their hand by sacking Karmic Guide. But then, yeah, that's fine. Okay. This is a guaranteed cycler that I know they have. Decree of Justice. Oh, they had Slice and Dice? Fuck me. Okay. Bad news, everyone. Their hand is 3 Seal of Cleansings and a Slice and Dice. Ugh. All right. Well, that sucks. I thought we had a moment there, but we don't have a moment. Temple of the False God. That unlocks 2 Rift Pings as well. Or 1 Rift Ping. They could have done 1 anyway. Oh, did they cast that? I don't think they realized that cycling it puts Druid on top and makes Karmic Guide a copy. Yeah, they could have had all of that and drawn a card and dealt damage to me with Rift. Okay, currently no cyclers in the hand. All I could do is jam this homie and hope he sticks. We just got to fade most of the cards in their deck. Pass. No! All right, and now they could cycle every turn for the rest of the game because they could recur the dragon. Okay, I've been roasted. 8-7 enchantment removal would still go a long way here. Oh, Psychotog. Just straight up heads up Psychotog. It costs 5 to get this back, and then 2 to cycle it. Yeah, they can't hit this thing with Rift. All right, I'm back. Blue, black, 1. Regular ass Psychotog, just as a creature. Though they can slide it out, so the damage doesn't actually matter. They can let me go as big as I want, and then just Astral Slide to delete it. Eternal Dragon's back. But they are at 9. So just chip shots for 1. That also might make them play in a way they don't really want to. Oh, that's big. That clears the dragon. Yeah, I'm not pushing any extra damage. I'm going to do 1 here. Exactly 1. And you'll thank me for the opportunity. Oh, are we casting this dragon? That's legal too. Okay, they were setting up a rift, a big rift turn. Make me commit multiple things to it. Okay, Eternal Dragon. Are they going to slide out Tog or try to deal 4 to it? They could deal 4 to me and slide out the Tog. That makes the most sense. All right, Tog is out. I'm taking a ton of damage. You get a Plains. And then I'm going to target you and Eternal Dragon. I'm not giving you any of those other cards back. All right, Cross and Reclamation. Shuffle away the dragon. Tog comes back in the end step. But post-combat, it's a lot worse because opponent can just start targeting it with Rift and make me discard cards or eat my graveyard, and it's functionally saving life for the future. Wait a Mountain. Oh, there's 2 Seal of Cleansings and then 3 unknowns in there. 3's a lot of unknowns to have to contend with. Hey, the Forgotten Cave. All right, I am dead. I'm not going to get through these Rifts at 8 life. Sweet. All right, the Naturalizers should be in. I've I've made a huge mistake. Do I just get off of Triskelion and Devourer entirely? If they have this many Seal of Cleansings, is that even a line I'm interested in taking? And obviously, if they're caught without that card, they're in trouble, but this is a lot of removal, and it lines up specifically against this in two ways. This is the combo that comes together cleanly with Survival, and it turns my Shapeshifter into an artifact temporarily. And the Seal hits both aspects of that. But then what does Survival do? If Survival's in the deck without this, and it can get Hermit Druid over and over again, it can get Monk Realized. Okay, it's still fine. All right, the bold decision to cut one of my two combos, which maybe isn't even that bold. I don't know. I've never played this deck before. Okay, no engines, but lots of mana. I think I'm going to mulligan this. It just doesn't interact at all. Okay. I have the two worst lands in my deck, but I am disruptive. All right, I'm going to keep in bottom Scrounger. Naturally, I end up with this hand that makes me look like a fool for not having the combo in my deck. All right, Duress you. Pyroclasm, Seal of Cleansing, Spark Spray. 1 damage to any target. It just has to be Seal of Cleansing, even though their hand doesn't cast it, but I am trying to make the Survival do something here. Yavimaya Coast. Okay, a sticky land, that helps. There's the Cave. Hermit. Well, that dies to Spark Spray and Pyroclasm. Okay, if I Survival away Palinchron into this Gemstone Mine, I'd have to tap that first if I'm going to try to do anything this turn. If I tap Gemstone Mine, that dies first. Then I Survival Palinchron into Shapeshifter. Shapeshifter into what? Because then I could unearth Shapeshifter as a copy of Palinchron with 2 mana untapped. And I would just have a 4/5 in play with 2 Survival activations possible. What do I get with that? Well, I'm playing a land, that is happening. I could also dump the Druid first, get Squee. Yeah, Pyroclasm means I can't even do like a play Druid, have Shapeshifter ready, because if they kill Druid, Shapeshifter just becomes it. They could just kill both. Okay, hold on. I could have a 4/5 Shapeshifter in play right now, and then next turn, Survival away Hermit, and then I'll have a non-summoning sick Hermit Druid that I could just activate immediately. Okay. I'll make a green. Survival away Palinchron. Oh, I don't need Karmic Guide. I'm just thinking, what if I slow this down? If I get Karmic Guide and cycle Karmic Guide for Shapeshifter, then next turn I could have all these creatures in play. But that's not the thing I just set up. Okay. I'll get Shapeshifter. I'll cycle Shapeshifter into some desirable value creature. Maybe Monk Realist. I kind of want Squee in case this fails. Okay, I'll get Squee, and then I'll unearth Shapeshifter, who comes in as Palinchron, which untaps my 2 lands. Oh, and now unearth is the top card in my graveyard. Yep, that's how that works. All right, well, I can Survival Shapeshifter into something else if opponent does anything. All right. If they try to kill this, it won't be this anymore. Jesus, this is a lot to take in. Now, obviously, once you play with it a little bit, it's not so bad, but right now it's pretty bad. And the cool thing is, in Undiscovered Paradise will bounce next turn. All right. I'm going to draw here. Okay. They had a shot to kill that and missed it. Now what I need to do is... Okay, I can set the whole shit up here. All right, I'm going to pass. Wait, did I? No, I didn't have the whole thing there because I boarded out that combo. Right, never mind. Oh, Undiscovered Paradise bounces when you untap, which means I can't Cross and Reclamation. Oh my god. I don't know what's going on anymore. All right, I'm going to Survival with Squee in the end step. And if they respond to that, I'll just make Shapeshifter into something bigger. Or I can't because everything's smaller. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? Oh my god. This deck is fucking ruining me. Holy shit. All right. Well, back to the drawing board, I guess. Okay, they just used the spark spray, which means if I don't want to get anything that's going to die to Pyroclasm. I'm going to get a Wall of Roots. That can at least set up survival chains for a little while. And Undiscovered Paradise is just the shittiest land in the entire Earth. Okay, Wall of Roots. I'm actually going to play Bird out here because if they Pyroclasm, it's only going to kill Bird. And I do need my mana developing. Uh-oh, they found white mana. Seal of Cleansing. That stinks. Now everything's worse. All right, well, I'll survival one more time for the road. Okay, I have one Hermit in my hand already, and I can Duress plus play Hermit. Do I want Volrash Shapeshifter in my hand? I think I do. Let's get that locked up. And then I'm going to try to Duress that Pyroclasm, develop the Hermit. Cabal Therapy gives me a second round. Duress you. Spraying my Bird on the way out. Okay. Wrath of God, Pyroclasm. All right. I'm going to take Pyroclasm, and I'm going to Cabal Therapy, Wrath of God. Their hand is Renewed Faith, and I have presented lethal. Please don't draw another Pyroclasm. All right, Battlefield Forge. They can still cycle into Pyroclasm, but please don't. All right, one random draw off the top of the deck. I also don't have enough mana because Undiscovered Paradise is the worst land in the history of Earth. Yeah, what the hell? Oh my god. I have to give them another turn? Is this real? I guess so. All right, pass. Plane Cycling Eternal Dragon. Okay, so their hand is plains. I can work with that. There's the plains. Please play something so I don't have to think too hard. Seal of Cleansing. Okay, easy mode, easy mode. Okay, so now the game is End Step Hermit, and now the game is about clicking through this in under 3 minutes. I think I'm going to time out, actually, even though I have just won the game. Okay, and End Step, Corrosive Reclamation, target myself, and put 2 Unearths on top of my deck. Okay, Undiscovered Paradise bounces. I draw what I need to draw here. Pop out the graveyard. Try to execute this quickly. Paradise. Oh no, Corrosive Reclamation is the top card of my deck. I fucked up again! Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Wall of Roots. Float. Yavimaya Coast. Alright, Corrosive Reclamation. Target me. Clear this Wall of Roots. Oh my god. Corrosive Reclamation. Target me. Target this Wall of Roots. And that's all I need to do. Okay. Oh my god. Alright, Unearth. Target. Shapeshifter. Shapeshifter. Get back. Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide. Get back. Psychotog. Alright. Figuring out what matters and what doesn't is its own separate whole issue here. Cabal Therapy, target you. I'll name Abandon Hope. And I have 1 minute to click through this. And they're at 22. They even have extra life. And they conceded. That was... I appreciate the gentleman's concession there, because I may or may not have actually executed that. Woo! My brain is mush, and we still got 2 rounds to go. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/TheResleevables. I am on the play in round 4. I'm going to keep my hand. It's full of good and redundant cards. I don't know what's going on with me today, but it just happened again where my brain registered any black card in my hand as Cabal Therapy. I was already thinking about what I'm going to therapy and when, and neither of these cards are that card. That's the second time it's happened in this league. I'm using all my brain power to track the top card of my graveyard, and I have none left for what cards are actually in my hand. Opponent kept 7. Wooded Foothills. Are we gobbling? Are we burning? Ooh, we're foresting. Little elves? Little elf? Just a little elf action? Okay, well, if you're elves, I'm just going to send it. Hermit Druid will win the game next turn. This could just be some generic magic deck using Llanowar elves to just get ahead on mana. But if it's not that, I just want to end the game. Oh yeah, you're dead. You're dead. Okay, draw for turn, and then I'll play Undiscovered Paradise because there won't be another turn this game. Hermit D, make sure I stack correctly. And here comes my graveyard, slowly but surely. No matter how many times I click through this, it is crazy to me how willing to move these things are. You're just clicking and suddenly you're hovering over a completely different card, and you're incentivized to do it quickly because you're on a clock. It doesn't actually matter where a chroma is. It's more about me knowing where my important things are so I don't accidentally exile them while I'm iterating deeper into the combo. Okay, here's the important ones. Okay, Karmic Guide on top. Unearth, target, not squee. Come on, graveyard, cooperate. Okay, unearth, targeting, shapeshifter, shapeshifter, target guide, guide, target tog, and opponent has seen enough. They're just making sure I stacked it correctly, and I did. All right, we've got some elves. Well, this Birds of Paradise might mean there's something else going on, but whoever you are, Pyroclasm. Card that's been sitting in my sideboard this whole time suddenly looks good. A card that was quite good against me, in fact, I'm now interested in bringing in. Here I go again, cutting my Elvish Spirit Guides. Do I need Slinger? Is the game going to go that slow? I feel like I'm going to Clasm their ass or I'm going to combo their ass, and I don't know when, how, or why I would want access to a 3-mana shock. I'm actually annoyed at how good this deck feels, though. It looks like a mess on paper, but now I'm going to have to go spend like $18 each on Volrise Shapeshifters after this league is done recording at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. Use code BOSH for 5% off. I will keep this. It's a little on the slow side compared to last round. All right, what do you Cabal Therapy versus Elves? I think I want to name Naturalize because Survival is what I want to be doing here. I could name like Survival for them. Oh, Nantuku Vigilante. They have a Naturalize that I didn't name correctly. Yeah, Survival is the card I would name if I was worried about what they were doing, but I'm more interested in what I'm doing, which may turn out to burn me because they have stuck a Survival and they have a Naturalize that I did not actually name because it's not called Naturalize. Okay, a little risky business here. I'm going to develop the Survival, and I'm doing that. This is risky because I know they can kill it turn after next, and I don't have a creature to survive with, but one turn of surviving here and I can put myself in the position I need to be in. Yep, there's the Morph. I wonder what that is. Big Rips. Shapeshifter. Okay. Does that win? It does, right? Okay. City of Brass. I have to sequence this correctly. It's, or am I a mana short? It's get Devourer, unearth this. Shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm 1 mana short. Pay 1 to get the Devourer, pay 1 to unearth, pay 1 to cycle the Devourer. And then I have an infinitely large creature that dies, but I can't put the Trike in the graveyard. I could cycle Shapeshifter for Trike, cycle Trike for literally anything, and then unearth the Shapeshifter, which would enter as Trike, and I could kill this thing, and then I still have Survival online. Yeah, it sucks just knowing that's going to be gone next turn. Okay. And the Get 2 Slinger would have been too slow here. Triskelion, cycle Triskelion, probably for Squee, so I can continue valuing. Squee, Unearth the Shapeshifter. Oh, it'll come in as Triskelion, but then it'll have Unearth on top of it. No! Alright. I don't know how anything works. Alright, well, I have a fucking 4/4. It's a 3/4 even. And it doesn't have the abilities of... I don't know what's going on anymore. This is so hard. Yeah, it's so strange that it enters as the thing, but then immediately is not the thing before you even have priority. So triggered abilities like Karmic Guide work, but activated abilities like Triskelion don't. Life is pain. Now I have a squee in my hand. At least it's a Cabal Therapy. But I do have... Oh, they had the anger, just raw dogged that one. So now I might just die here. Everything has haste. Well, they could get something like Priest of Titania, which only taps for 1. So without elves in play already, this could be a slower game happening. And I might just have to use my Corrosion Reclamation defensively. What a mess. Oh, okay. Or I could draw another survival and maybe still win. Okay. What do I got to do here? I have Corrosion Reclamation. I can also become Psychotog. I only have 2 mana to do this with, though. Okay, Gemstone Mine. And I might just chill right now. Okay, if I play Survival, it costs me 1 to get Devourer. It costs 1 to put Devourer in the graveyard. And then there's Devourer, Squee, and 2 more cards in between the Triskelion and where I need to be. Alright, I will play my Survival. And I can use Reclamation to take their anger and their squee. But kind of Survival's whole thing is you could just get those cards right back. Getting a second Vigilante, which they do have enough mana to use. I could just make Shapeshifter into a Chroma and hit them for 9 twice. How about that shit? Oh no, I can't because Survival will be on top of it there too. Everything sucks. Okay. Squee will become something on the way through here. There'll be 6 cards in my graveyard. Getting Scrounger doesn't matter. I could just get Karmic Guide and cast it. And that can bring Triskelion into play, which can then be a creature on the board, I guess. Or I could get Psychotog and eat my way down until this thing is a Triskelion, but that doesn't matter. I could also fuel my graveyard because I have 1 more activation if I want it. I don't think I want it though. All right, I'll just take Karmic Guide. Okay, I have a 3/4 in front of their 2 3/2s. They have Squee in hand. I also have Squee in hand. Wall Therapy, I don't think is helping me much. All right, Karmic Guide. Not happy about any of this. And I will attack with my 3/4. I have to deal damage or I'm not winning this game. The Magic the Gathering experience. Okay, pass. So I have Triskelion, and I have Shapeshifter that has 3 counters on it, which means if Triskelion dies, which I can do at will, I can deal 2 damage to something, then 1 damage to itself, and it can be the top card of my graveyard then. So I actually have 5 damage that I can just point where I need to if I need to do something crazy to survive this turn, which Gaia's Cradle makes much more likely. And this will be a 2/2 flyer next turn when I don't pay the Echo on Karmic Guide, which will be a 5/5 flyer. So I'll have a 5/5 flyer and the ability to do 5 damage at will. Well, it could be more damage because I could do 6 damage at will and then stack this to Cabal Therapy. So that's 11 damage right there. Okay, they have Survived for a Bird of Paradise, which will enter with haste, which pays for itself, and it goes +1 because of Cradle. You have a Maya Granger cooked. Or do they have like a Kamal Fist of Kroza, or where's this going? Wow, Thornscape Battlemage is nice. 2 damage to any target. And destroy target artifact? That's wild. Alright. That comes in with the white. Did they stack it correctly? Deals 2 damage to any target. So who do I want on top here? I guess I don't have a choice. The Karmic Guide will die, and then Triskelion will die. I'm going to take out a Vigilante on the way through and then go 1 to the face, I guess. Or I could take out another Vigilante. Or no, I have this Birds of Paradise is right there. Okay. Okay, Karmic Guide dies, and then Triskelion dies. So this is now a Triskelion with 3 counters on it. And this is sick on the double splash, using Survival to get a hasty Birds of Paradise to unlock white mana. Good stuff. Power to you. Oh, Pyroclasm. Well, that cooks their shit. That also makes Triskelion into not Triskelion. Will they block if I attack? They didn't attack, which must mean they had planned on blocking. Okay, I mean, I'll still attack. It's not a good block. Yeah, if they block, I just won't cast Pyroclasm and it's fine. And then I can play Squee as a blocker, and I can use Corrosive Reclamation to knock haste off their squad. I could just take the Anger and the Squee now, but if they have a creature in hand, they just get all of it back. All right, I'll cast Squee. If they do like a crazy setup turn here, where I can blow it out with by knocking haste off their squad and then Pyroclasm everything. Deranged Hermit, yeah, that's a lot of damage. How far you want to take that? Okay, here's Hermit. Cycling Survival, or cycling with Survival. Hopefully grabbing another Hermit here and spending all their green mana so they can't get a Survival chain back into Anger at the start of combat. There's a slightly awkward thing happening here, which is that I want my opponent to just take the obvious play of getting Deranged Hermit and trying to kill me. But because I have Triskelion in play, I could kill the 2 Deranged Hermits, and then they just have a bunch of 1/1s attacking instead of a bunch of 3/3s. So they have to do the math about that, even though that's not what I want to do. I do also have to decide if I want to use any of these counters for anything before I play Corrosive Reclamation, because after that, this won't be Triskelion anymore. But I don't think I do want to do that because Pyroclasm is what I'm trying to set up here anyway. Opponent is deep in the tank on this Survival activation. Okay, I'm not sure what just happened. Obviously, I edited out a lot of it, but this Survival has been on the stack for a very long time, and now the match is over. Not sure what just happened there, but on to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in the final round, somehow playing for that bread and butter 4/1. And this hand, it doesn't have an engine card. I don't know how important that actually is. I'm going to mulligan because I've been leaning towards engines. I don't want to go to 5 though. I'm going to keep this and bottom Triskelion and hope that Survival or Hermit show up soon. We've got a Mog Fanatic. That is very good against my start of Birds of Paradise off of City of Brass. Just the full beating in every direction, but it's still the line I'm going to take. My life doesn't get better if I slow down into that. Goblin Patrol, let's go. Seal of Fire, okay. All right, Mog Fanatic. They use the Seal of Fire to push the Mog Fanatic through. Reflecting Pool, perfect mana. I'm going to get Wall of Roots down. That is a 0/5 blocker that also expands what I'm capable of next turn. I'm going to block Fanatic and not Patrol here because it's too easy to finish this off with a Lightning Bolt if I go the other way. And it'll cost them their Fanatic plus Bolt to finish it off if they go this way. Another Fanatic. All right, 1 card in hand. Another Reflecting Pool. Neat. All right, I can play Survival and activate it. Oh, no, I don't have any creatures. All right, well, I'll play Survival and maybe win next turn if I draw a creature. It's fun that that's part of the puzzle. I could cycle Unearth. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm taking 5. It could be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. I think I'm just going to block one of the 2 power creatures now. I'm done playing scared. Well, I'm scared of a different thing now, which is dying. All right, so I'm actually going to cycle Unearth because I think that is worth it to try to spike a creature here that actually does something. We'll Psychotog action. All right, I've drawn Cabal Therapy. Psychotog. That is just a pretty big thing. What am I survivaling for, if anything, here? I could survival for the shifter, which would be a Psychotog. And then if I draw a creature, I win. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage for sure. 7 because I have to tap at least City of Brass this turn. All right, well, I'll play my land. And is it better for me if I reanimate my Wall of Roots? That costs me 2 life to save 2 life when I block, but I get a mana. I'd have to draw another creature anyway. Okay, I'm just going to survival, get Shifter. I'm just going to double check, make sure there's not some obvious thing to be doing instead. All right, Shapeshifter, blue, blue, colorless. I have a Psychotog in play. I am at 3. I'm dead to a lightning bolt anywhere. And even if I don't die to lightning bolt, I have to draw a creature here. Wasteland. I don't think that changes my life. Oh, it makes my creature not a Psychotog anymore. All right, I'm going to exile Unearth and Birds of Paradise. And I'm going to discard Cabal Therapy. And discard is the cost, so you can't like hold priority and do anything with that. It's not like I could hold priority and make it even bigger by discarding the reanimate also. Okay, I think what I actually have to do here is block Mog Fanatic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I take 1 when I tap something. If I block one of the 2s, they could throw Mog Fanatic at it. Because if I lose Shapeshifter, I lose the game. Alright, if your hand's a spell, I'm dead anyway. So I'm going to block a Mog Fanatic and give myself a chance to actually play the game. Okay, it just had Fire Blast. Sure. Okay. My lands cost me quite a bit that game. A Pyroclasm, Gitu Slinger. I don't think I'll be scrounging here. I don't really understand the Scrounger lines anyway, so it's probably a safe one to board out. Is Pyroclasm better than Duress? In taking the pressure off myself is good, but so is seeing their hand and knowing what I need to navigate. Okay, I'm trying this, I guess. Low confidence that this is right. Playing against Burn. I don't trust this one lander. Come on, deck. Not like this. All right, we're going to 5. Jesus, it's going to 4. All right, I guess I have to stop. All right, I'm going to put Animate Dead, Unearth, and Unearth on the bottom. I can't even play this Gitu Slinger, but I might someday. Oh, this is bad. I don't think this hand could beat anyone. Okay, Duress You, Price of Progress. Well, I can never beat that. I can never beat the rest of this hand either. All right. Tough matchup to mull to 4 in the final round against Mountain Jackal Pup, trying the Cheeto. Okay, so I am trying here to draw a red source, which would have to be City of Brass or Gemstone Mine. There's the Patrol. There's the Fanatic. All right, you're saying there's a chance. I have top decked the card that allows me to take a ton of extra damage in order to barely and inconsequentially not even stabilize because they have Lightning Bolt in their hand. Yep, there it is. If I draw a Shapeshifter right now, it does copy Slinger on the way in. All right, we're just togging. Black, blue, colorless. All right, Psychotog straight up, down and dirty. Just as a large creature. And it's not even that large. Pyroblast? Why? I mean, I'm a combo deck based around a blue card. What's my good draw? Survival? All right, Unearth might get 2 Slinger. We're back, baby. Kill this Goblin Patrol. And then have a 2/2 in front of your Mog Fanatic. Game on. A 2/2 that I have to lose a life from City of Brass to keep next turn. And I don't get to see what I draw beforehand to make an informed decision, so I'm going to have to assume that this 2/2 is worth at least 1 life to keep around. Oh, yeah, bolt me, baby. Oh, going straight to the face. That's even worse. Am I just dead? Price of Progress? Oh, yeah. All right, yep, just dead, because the Fanatic is the final one, the City of Brass plus Fanatic. And they're doing it all over top of my City of Brass, so that's actually the damage that kills me. I appreciate that style. Okay, a positive record, including a noob literal first match ever miss sequence in a deterministic game winning spot otherwise. Fumbled bumbled a lot here. I mean, that's just reps. I'm not going to claim that this deck is like hard to play. It's actually much easier to play than I imagined by looking at the deck list. However, the things you have to track are essential, and the moments where it's like that one game where I had survival and I had shapeshifter and unearth, and I was like, oh, I just win, but then I realized that's a 4-mana line and I only had 3. Those sort of things you'll get a feel for once you play the deck a little bit, remembering that spells you cast go to the top of your graveyard is something that you'll remember or you'll get more comfortable with. That surprised me almost every time it happened in this league, which is pretty embarrassing. But the deck feels dope as hell, and I will begrudgingly be purchasing Volra Shapeshifters just in case I ever want to play this. Having a real, like, proper, resilient, multi-angle combo deck in this format is pretty serious. Combo does exist. There's like Iggy Pop for Storm decks. There's some Doomsday. There's the Devourer Tinker stuff going on. This feels better than all of that. And being familiar with the best combo deck in a format's probably a good place to be if your goal is to win the most matches of Premodern in your life possible. Yeah, this one's crazy. I'm just sitting here like staring at my screen, blank-eyed, trying to think of what I want to say. I could talk for another 2.5 hours, or I could just stop talking, and I'm going to elect to just stop talking. Very cool deck, multiple directions, the pieces interlock. I think I understand about 65% of it, so there's even more stuff that I know I didn't fully showcase here. But hopefully you all get the point. Girian, thank you for giving me this horrible puzzle to solve. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.